And Tony said you can win. So, Jesus, what is Jalen Hurts? This weekend, Hoss, he's gonna have to do it. This is a bad matchup for the Eagles this weekend. Second best rushing attack, second best running attack in football, and they're the second best team stopping the run. How you doing? And they're the worst pass defense. What does that mean? It's time for Clark Kent to be Jimmy Olsen. And that's Jalen Hurts. He's got to not be Jimmy Olsen. He's got to be Clark Kent. Because he can't be Superman. Because Superman's 26. You guys told me he's the MVP. Imagine that, the only team in the league right now that's a Super Bowl contender, and the quarterback doesn't lead them. He's like the fifth best guy in your huddle. All right. All that being said, baby. Yes, sir. All supers go to the top. Please hit that like button. We appreciate it. This man, without a doubt, has gone up and down Broad Street the last 3 days, and he is touting the words, "Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to New Orleans. Fly, Eagles, fly." He is the co-host of Birds 365 and the resident Philadelphia Eagle Hawk, our friend, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, statistics, Celio?
Yeah, statistics. Yes, sir, baby.
The statistician.
Those trends are exactly who you. No, wait a minute. So do the Jaguars, the Browns, and the Giant game count?
Of course they count. Every game counts.
Okay, well, this is what you've done for 10 games then. This is who you are. The last 7 weeks.
This is what do you mean this is who we are? Oh, the 9-2 team that's third in the NFL power rankings this
all
week.
Balanced. Dude, here's your game this week.
So can I ask you why do you want balance? What is the infatuation
because
with
you're going to need to win a Super Bowl throwing the ball.
But right now they haven't needed to. The only reason they're not balanced right now is because they're blowing teams off the page.
So you think the last 7 weeks of the season, you think the last 7 weeks
they haven't needed to be balanced.
2 rushing attempts versus 20. You think that's not what they're going to do the rest of the season?
But that's what they've been able to do to win.
I disagree with you. You're not going to win that way.
But they've won the last 7 that way.
You're not going to win the Super Bowl, guy.
Says who?
You're the only football team
Says
in the
who? Big
league.
Silz?
You're the only football team in the league. The quarterback is not asked to win you games.
I don't care about that shit.
I
don't know why you care about that so much. Who
because
cares?
The reason you pay the guy is to win you Super Bowls, not to be a mailman.
Jalen has never taken away
Jalen
from
Hurts
our
is a
ability.
mailman.
No, he's not. That's a stupid comment.
Right here. Here you go. Here you go. Hey, Barkley.
That's a stupid comment.
Here you go. Here. This is
all right. Not thinking he's Joe Burrow, I'm fine with, but to call him a mailman is straight stupid.
Hey, by the way,
71% of his passes.
You know what's stupid?
He's got the highest passer rating of his career.
35 touchdowns is stupid.
He's 5th in the MVP odds. What are you talking about? He's a mailman.
I'm not looking at a guy throwing 20 touchdown passes and 3,600 yards passing. I don't see an MVP guy.
That's a stupid take, Cilio.
Okay. I don't. Of course you do. 3,600
No,
passing
I'm looking at
yards.
the whole team. You're looking at one guy.
You want to hear what a Super Bowl, you want to hear what an MVP candidate looks like? 4,400 passing yards, 40 touchdowns versus 4 picks, 900 rushing, and 70% completion percentage from Lamar Jackson. That's a fucking MVP candidate. Okay, that's a guy who has been asked to carry a team on his back and win a game. That's an MVP guy. Holy shit. And by the way, I love having to do this to him when it comes to Derrick Henry because underneath, this must kill him. You know why it kills him? Because Henry's a Bama guy. And I know he
doesn't kill me at all. I'll take Saquon.
Okay. Hey,
I think
Saquon.
I'll
take the guy who this isn't an uncommon season to.
That's that. You're right about that. I'm not going to kill Barkley for being with New York Giants. I mean, they've proven they'll ruin anybody that comes through that franchise. Doesn't matter how good they are. So I get it. You're not wrong. the Texans or the Titans weren't good and Derek was better there. But don't you agree that Derek is he's less versatile as a running back where, Saquon, it seems like he can make something out of nothing. Derek is big. He's great. I'm not saying he's not great, but he's very downhill and he's not, he doesn't have as much versatility as Saquon Barkley.
Would you agree that Barkley's a more complete back and Henry's a better runner?
Yes.
By not a lot.
I don't think Derek.
By not a lot.
Henry would get his yards here. I don't think he'd be as good here because Jalen doesn't like lining up under center. So Derek's not going to thrive from Jalen being in the shotgun and doing option plays and inside zone plays. That's not his game. So
could you imagine Derrick Henry with a 4-yard head start?
Who's tackling him with a 4-yard head start?
I mean, can you imagine him?
Are you saying because Saquon has that with the offensive line?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, our offensive line, anybody's going to be good back there, but Saquon Barkley.
We're talking about two exceptional players here. I'm not, by the way, once again, I want to do this. Dude, when I say Henry's a better runner, it's not biased.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about that, I don't know if he's a better runner. I think he's better.
He's done it every year of his career.
He's a battering ram though. Like Silz, here, let me ask you this. When you see Saquon Barkley hit a hole though, that dude is gone.
Got a bullet.
He is gone.
Like a bullet.
Now, I love Derrick Henry, but he's not that type of back.
Wait a minute. You know who has more plus 25-yard runs this year? It's Derrick Henry.
Does he have more 25? I thought Saquon led the league.
Night. They said that last night.
Yesterday that Saquon leads the league in 50-yard runs, 40-yard runs, 30-yard runs, and 20-yard runs.
Well, I heard those guys say last night that he had the most 20-yard touchdown, most 20-yard runs last night.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take away, by the way, from Derrick Henry. I don't need to take away from Henry to give Saquon his credit. But right now for this team, I'll take Saquon. And this year, I think Saquon's the better player. Remember, you've been talking about it all show. Derrick Henry also has an MVP caliber quarterback that's taken some of the load off. Jalen's not been, according to you, this great player this year. It's all Saquon.
It is.
So I think that goes into the factor of how good Saquon's been this year. What's that?
Don't you think it has been? I mean, the reason why they're running the ball 2-1.
Yeah, I mean,
by the way, I'm not getting away from that either.
Lamar's numbers can't be disputed. I don't fear them. I think we're going to win this game, dude.
I think you need to throw the ball.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll find out because you know
what?
Okay,
wait. So you said they're the number 2 ranked running offense, which is correct.
And they're
running defense. Running.
Defense.
You think they're going to stop that offensive line? Because they're number 2.
Here, let me take a look at this for a second here.
It's old-fashioned football, though, Cilio. I know you're good at it. I don't give a fuck. I'm blocking you and I'm running right down your throat. So that's what the Eagles mentality.
The Eagles. Let me take a look at dominant defensive lines that they have played this year, that they have been able to. Okay, so Green Bay. Green Bay's got a pretty good defensive line. They're kind of stout. They had a good night that night. Atlanta.
Green Bay.
They're solid. They're a solid defense for sure.
They got some work.
New Orleans, I thought, had a really good defensive line. Dude, do you want to hear something about Cam Jordan? You know, he's got 9 Pro Bowls.
Holy moly, that many?
Yeah, he's got like 9 Pro Bowls, Cam Jordan. He's going to Hall of Fame. I mean, I didn't realize he was that good.
Marcus says, I don't understand why we don't use Hurts the same way Ravens use Jackson. I get the sentiment, but Jalen Hurts ain't Lamar. I don't even say that as a knock on Jalen. Lamar Jackson, he's one of. He is a truly one of one player. The way he runs, and you know what I do notice though, he's gotten more accurate, but he still has moments.
He'll throw a grenade up.
Not accurate, yeah.
No, he'll throw a grenade up every now and then. Yeah. You're like
Marcus. Also, I don't think we want to be that. By the way, I don't think we want to be that. I think what we have right now and keeping Jalen where he is perfectly fine.
They did a nice job against that giant front, and I get that. Anytime you got Dexter Lawrence in that bitch and you push him off the ball, dude, the Giants D line with Dexter Lawrence, that's a nice performance there. That would be somebody that they've played against. Cincinnati. They handled Trey Hendrickson on the perimeter. I don't really think they're much up the middle, though. Jacksonville's more a perimeter with Allen and the other guy, Walker, not very stout in the middle. Dallas has nobody in the middle. Washington, kind of somebody, but not really. And the Rams are undersized. So quite frankly, they've really not played any formidable front where they have not been able to be and have the advantage. They had the advantage in Green Bay. They had the advantage in Atlanta. Well, they have the advantage in Baltimore. I'll tell you where Baltimore's strengths are. It's in their linebacking core. If you look at where they get the majority of their sacks from,
Yeah, well, Roquan was out last night.
Sacks from their linebackers.
Roquan was out last night.
Yeah, he was out, and I think
he should be back, right? Yeah, he should be back. I think
he could have went, but I think they were saving him for this week. Hey, Zander, I'm going to say it one more time here, and I'll say it again. I don't need the Ravens game. I win or lose.
No, it's not I agree with you where I don't give a shit about who you beat anymore. I think that we all know this team is good, but I do care about the 1 seed because I want to make it to the Super Bowl. And the best way for the Eagles to make it to the Super Bowl is to make Detroit come out of their dome, come to Philadelphia in the middle of January and say, okay, Jared Goff. Okay, Jared, you think you're good and you're having a nice year and you work. Do it in Philly in January. That's a different beast. That's what I want. So I don't care. Like I said to you a couple weeks ago, though. We beat the Chiefs last year. We beat the Bills last year. We beat the 12-5 Cowboys last year. We beat the Dolphins last year, the team that scored 70 in a game. None of it mattered. So the Ravens are a good test. It's a fun game, but that's not what we're not going to.
I'm going to expose myself here a little bit. I don't trust dome teams. I just don't trust dome teams in winter months where you have to go on the road and go on.
Super Bowl this year, Arizona.
What's that?
Super Bowl's where? Arizona?
New Orleans.
New Orleans? It's a dome, right?
Yeah, Superdome. I just don't trust teams that have to – I think that was what hurt Indianapolis.
Bodett Factor says, Zander, Hurts is not a lover of the cold. You are correct. Hurts grew up in Texas. He went to Alabama, and then he transferred to Oklahoma, and he is not a cold guy. But who are you taking, our offensive line and running back in that game or Detroit's? Detroit's is good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's going to be, that would be a great game.
I'm trying to figure out teams that have won Super Bowls that have been dome teams. Colts, the Saints.
That's interesting.
Colts, Saints. Rams aren't a dome team. They were out when they won it. Now the St. Louis team was a dome team. They played at that dome in St. Louis. But over the last 20 years, how many dome teams? Colts, Saints. Who else? I mean,
Bengals were in it. They weren't a dome team, right? Tampa Bay's not a dome team. I'm looking at just at the recent Super Bowls. Philly won in 7 and 18, obviously. New England, there's no dome teams. New England beat Atlanta. Atlanta's a dome team, right? That was the 28-3 game. That was crazy. Denver, no. Yeah, you're right. But that's a good point. That's a good point. I wonder. But
I just don't see dome teams like.
But that's why winning against the Ravens is imperative. Forget beating the Ravens. Who gives a shit? We need to get the 1 seed. Because if you let Detroit march through the playoffs in Detroit and then they get to go and play in New Orleans, it's never going to matter.
Here's one of the advantages that I always thought Minnesota had. You know, Minnesota went to 5 Super Bowls in their history. Now, they didn't win any one of them, right? I think they won 4. They went to 4 Super Bowls. Do you know when they put the top on the stadium, they never been back?
Wow.
They've never been back.
Well, we used
to have to go up to Metropolitan Stadium, and it was minus 36 degrees up there, and play Minnesota when they took the greatest home field advantage in the history of the NFL away from Minnesota when they put the top on the
Wait, aren't domes, Silio? Aren't domes kind of a slap in the face to football?
Absolutely. I hate it.
They're billionaires building these big-ass stadiums, and they make it a dome. That's not what football is. Everybody says when the weather gets cold, that means football starts. That's what football is. I hate domes.
That's why
I hope they never put a dome in Philly.
That's why I always thought when the Colts had to go to Gillette, they were going to get worked. I mean, Baltimore had more success going to Gillette and going up to Bradysville and going up to Boston than Indianapolis did because they played inside. And so get this, you got two teams in the NFC right now that play in domes that are playoff contenders, right? Minnesota and Detroit. I'll tell you what, dude. Minnesota has to travel to the link. You're going to wax them. Detroit has to come
I
to.
don't trust Minnesota. The only thing that Minnesota team has going for them is that
Coaching.
defense is stout. Yeah, they got a good defense with Flores. But I'm not buying the Sammy Darnold vibe. The Sammy Darnold.
They got a good running game.
They do. They got Aaron Jones. I mean, they got some good players there. Which I always said I don't know why Green Bay let him go. That was stupid. But they got a good back anyway. In Green Bay.
They got Josh Jacobs now.
Yeah, he's been good. But yeah, Aaron Jones was a dual threat back as a catcher too. So no, it should be. It's a good point though. It is interesting. That's why I think that one seed's important, man. How much of a different game is that NFC title game if it's in Detroit versus in Philly?
Night and day.
Night and day, man. That's why. And by the way, as good as Detroit is, I think they have a way harder end of the schedule here than we do.
I think Detroit offensively, I don't see where you have an advantage. And I don't see where they have a massive one. I'll tell you why. I think here, you got two 1,000-yard receivers up there in Williamson and St. Brown. You got two 1,400-yard backs that kind of compensate for what Barkley is. Their old line is just as good. But here's the difference, Zander. You're going to get 35 touchdown passes out of that passing game where you're not getting that. So you're going to have a tad bit more balance up there. But I think your advantage is on defense. I don't think their defense is that I think they're okay. But do I think that they can when they lost Aiden Hutchinson, dude, their perimeter pass rushing is right there now with Philly. They're limited out there on that side of the ball, and they just lost a linebacker too. So, I mean, they're a little bit limited, and I think the war of attrition has kind of gotten them a little bit when it comes to that defensive side of the ball. I mean, yeah, so you're right. I mean, home field. So maybe, again, this is one of the reasons why maybe people are saying that Barkley may end up winning the rushing title. I don't think so because I think I'd throttle him out of that Carolina game.
Yeah, why do you have Derrick Henry's played one more game already? Saquon's already got the bye, and he's already in the lead right now. I think Saquon will win. I think Saquon will win. Just from
you guys will throttle down on that. They have to win every game, and they're going to have. Dude, they got too many.
So you're projecting. You're projecting Saquon's only going to play a half versus Carolina.
I'm not saying he's playing lesser. I'm saying that availability of it. Because you made the point last night. Didn't you say this to me yesterday? You went, hey, Silz, they can't lose this game last night to the Chargers. They couldn't lose that game and go to 7-5 on the season. Yeah. They had to win that game last night. By the way, is it me or does Henry fall forward for 140 yards?
I know. It's crazy. I mean, Saquon's good at that too. Saquon falls forward very well too. But says Derrick Henry's just so damn big. That Chargers team, they got a little work to do. They're solid. Sometimes
their defense gives them up.
I don't understand Justin Herbert. Like, I see it, and I'm like, I see all the talent. I see everything you would want in a franchise quarterback, but sometimes he just makes boneheaded plays and boneheaded throws.
Kid's got to catch the ball, though, man.
I know, dude. That Johnson guy, oh, my God.
What's his name, Quentin Johnson or something?
Yeah, that dude needs to catch the ball, man.
Never draft the guy from TCU. Okay, never draft a TCU runner.
They got Rager.
Yeah,
they got Rager.
Never draft the guy from that because, dude, that guy was dropping passes all night long, in his freaking hands last night. By the way,
I don't know what it is though about Herbert. I see it, but I wonder if I don't know. I don't know what it'll take. Maybe he needs some better receivers. I mean, look at what Philly said about Hurts when he's missing.
I'm not believing what he can do at the end of the day if he can win a title for me.
Well, they got rid of his best receiver. I mean, they got rid of Keenan Allen.
They changed the offensive concepts up there. I mean, they don't have.
Yeah, but he could use some better receivers, dude.
Mike Williams is not there no longer. I mean, they don't have any of those guys. So, I mean, yeah, they've got to upgrade that. See, to me, I thought DeAndre Hopkins was going there.
Yeah, that would have been a good fit, but he's been really good in Kansas City.
I thought he was going. All right, so what do you think they're going to do replacing BG? Did John give you any insight?
I mean, he thinks they're going to move Milton to the outside a little bit. They're not going to move him exclusively outside. They're going to put him out there a little bit, and they're going to rely on the guys they have in the room and Nolan Smith and Josh Sweat. Now, this is a tough problem because they brought in that dude last night. What was his name? EJ something. I can't even remember his name. I don't anticipate he'll have a huge role, but I don't know. Now some dude got released today. Can somebody give me his name? Who did the Lions release like an hour ago?
Oh God.
The
Dude,
Lions released somebody, and I'm like, if the Lions released him, that
we're starving for edge rushers themselves.
this
Okay.
dude, I hope this dude's listening to the show that keeps tweeting at me how much your show sucks. And dude, if you're listening, he tweets at me today, Julio is no guest. I'm like, dude, he had 2 Hall of Fame coaches on yesterday. What the fuck are you talking about? It's one thing if you're going to shit on his takes, but the shit on that is just stupid. So if he's listening,
I got Jimmy Johnson in a hotel room in LA to come on yesterday. I mean, really.
yeah, James Houston is the name. Yeah, not sure. He had 8 sacks as a rookie in 22, but he's been in and out of the lineup since. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Dude, right now, those are nobodies.
Yeah, but still, right now, we need nobodies, dude.
Well, you need bodies for sure.
We need bodies. We don't even have bodies.
I would rather take practice squad guys.
Okay, so you got Teron Jackson, 6th rounder in 21, and then you have O'Shawn Mathis, I think his name is. They added to the practice squad. So you're elevating those guys.
Did the Eagles cut anybody off their practice? Did the Eagles cut anybody in camp that they can bring back?
They cut a guy in camp that they should have right now. That would be playing as the starter in the absence of Brandon Graham. And the New York Football Giants picked him up. And it was, remember when they did the roster cuts, everybody talked about, will they keep this player or will they not keep this player? Because he was one of those bubble guys. And that's Patrick Johnson, who played very well for the Eagles in the preseason. He was, I think he was a former 6th or 7th round pick. I think was he a Tulane guy?
Yes.
I think he was a Tulane guy. I want to say that. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, it's easy in hindsight to say they should have.
You can't keep
in hindsight to say they should have kept him, but yeah, sucks that he's gone and he's now stuck in New York.
Derek Barnett.
Well, he's in Houston, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's a kind of thing right there where you have some depth. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't really think they prepared very well for the edge this year.
No, and I thought Howie was going to make a move, even if it was for somebody depth.
You made the wrong move with Huff. You're not deep enough at the edge. An injury to Brandon Graham now has made this thing look very wobbly, heading into a game that likes to do what? Run the freaking ball.
Yeah. Jordan Davis. Spike, I see it. You're right, Spike. Jordan Davis game, baby.
Dude, so what do you mean, Jordan Davis?
Well, he's the run stopper. You can't be, if you're not a pass rusher, Mr. Davis.
No, by the way,
you're the 13th overall pick. You better fucking stop the run.
Hey, he's gonna be playing more in this game with 20 snaps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding off on calling the guy a bust because everyone tells me, oh, he's a good nose and all this. Oh, good. All right, now you're playing Derrick Henry. If this is what you're making your money on, you better go out there and make an impact. No? He doesn't rush the passer. This is it. This is it. This is the Jordan Davis Bowl.
Right this is the Jordan Davis game. Absolutely. This is the Jordan Davis game.
Lord, Jordan. I think
this is a game Jordan Davis is going to have to play his ass off.
I think they should trade Jordan after the year and sign Milton, because if they're going to let Milton walk because they don't want to pay him because of Jordan coming up, that's stupid. Milton's clearly a way better guy in the 4-man front and the 3 technique. Way better.
He's more versatile.
Way more versatile. That's why they're talking about putting him on the outside.
Yeah, that's right, because he could play out there. I do not believe that you could do anything with Davis right now. You can't. I don't really even think you could play him in a 3 technique right now.
Yeah, but I don't get that. I know he's a big dude, but dude, he's who's the guy you always say he is his ceiling? I'm blanking on his name. Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork didn't run 4 6s or whatever the hell Jordan Davis ran.
No.
All right. I mean, Jordan has the athleticism. He should be able to play a 3 technique a little bit more in the 4-man front, but he just can't. I don't know why.
This is what Vince was, though. He was a 1st and 2nd down guy. He was drafted down in the late 20s, and that kind of what he was, and that was kind of the earmark for him. And when they went to personnel, when they went to like pass rush personnel, he came off the field, dude. But that's who Vince was. Vince was a winner of 3 Super Bowls there in New England. So, I mean, plus he was a major in rushing and stopping the run. I remember saying that on draft day, His ceiling would be Fletcher Cox, and his floor should be Vince Wilfork. Well, he's not even at the floor right now.
I know. You're not wrong.
Okay? That's
You're not
what
wrong.
he has got to be in the middle.
I'll tell you who you were
Carter-
right about. You were right about Jalen. I mean, a lot of people were, to be fair, but you were right about Jalen Carter. When they drafted that guy, you're like, I see shades of Jerome Brown in him, and I see intangibles that very few human beings have on the planet. And he's looking like he's the real deal, dude. You know, John, I brought this up on the show this morning, and John got all in his panties in a tiff because he hates talking about officials. And I get it, but dude, if you watch the Jalen Carter tape, every fucking play. And I'm like, look, it's fine. That's what happens when you're a great player. I'm not saying to get every one of those calls, but when he hasn't gotten one call this year, not one. Now, when you don't call that once,
he's not gonna.
You open that up though for the defense as a viable way to stop that.
He'll get it.
The offensive line is a viable way to stop him. That's bullshit.
Wait a minute. I know you're not wrong.
That's fucking bullshit.
He gets the all-pro thing. Referees are going to do this like they do to Dexter Carter or Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
They're going to go like this. Oh, they're holding him. And he's going to get more the benefit of the doubt. Vita Vea, he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Carter still. Hey, dude, you know what referees say to you? The guy's fucking holding me. Why don't you just give him my jersey? The guy goes, easy, rookie. And that's what the refs say to you, man.
Yeah, but come on. Come on, refs.
Yeah. He's building his equity up.
You got to call it one time. So if you call it one time.
No, you can watch it and see it. You can see it.
Oh, dude, did you see the video Baldy put up? These dudes, they got him in a chokehold. They're choking him, the guy out to stop him. And they don't call it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Okay, well, where's his boy next to him helping him?
On the bench, waiting for the first downs when they're running.
That guy should be – if you got one-on-one, man, how are you not beating that when you're 348 pounds? How are you not beating that? Yeah. I keep telling Clint this, dude. I don't know what you got to do, man. Maybe you got to take a bat out and bang on his knee so he bends over because he's got to stay low, man. Dude, he does this, Zander. Carter does this and stays over his pads, and he's using his hands, and he keeps down in that crotch position. Here's Jordan. He'll do this. He'll engage, and then he peaks, and then he gets driven. And getting driven in the league, that could mean 1.5 yards. Think about this. 1.5 yards, you're already 1.5 yards off the ball, right? You're 1 yard on. That's 3 yards. So if you get driven 2 steps back or 1 yard back, that's 3 yards you're getting knocked off the ball when the running back gets through the line of scrimmage. Why do you think most of the time running backs in this league are 3-2 a carry? Because that's kind of you don't want to be knocked off the ball more than 1 yard. You're already 1 yard off the ball. That's why you see 3-2 as an average carry per running back. Henry and Saquon at 6. I don't know if I've ever played against backs that have had 6 yards of carry. Do you understand? Crazy. Every time they touch the ball, it's a first. Every other time they touch the ball, it's a first down.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's no doubt. That's why I'm like, look, I get where you're coming from with the concern about the passing game, but until I see a team that can get past our offensive line and stop Saquon Barkley, I don't really give a shit. I really don't, because Jalen with 72% completion and 71 and a high passer rating.
Folks, listen to what this kid's just doing here. Guy throws the ball 6 times, completes 4 of them. He has a 70% completion percentage. My guy's good.
That's 66, dumbass.
Remember this. Hey, my guy throws the ball 5 times a game, completes 4. Hey, what a prolific. That's a completion percentage that I'm proud of. You're like, fuck, man. Hey, this guy's great against the blitz. He's taken 27 sacks this year. Really? Okay. Yeah, right. Come on. He's great in the pocket. Okay.
He's not a pocket player. It's a stupid take.
Hey, he's not a pocket passer.
I'm surprised that you don't see a little bit more of the bigger trend that's happening in the NFL.
I don't see him getting better.
I'm saying that there's a bigger trend that's happening in the NFL where Michael Vick.
It's going to be a trend moving forward, or do you think it's a 1 year?
I don't know. I can't speak into the future, but right now, I'll tell you what, the dual threat quarterback is pretty dominant in the league.
The difference with their dual threats like Josh Allen and Lamar, they throw for a ton of yards.
Well, I know. I'm just saying in general, it seems to be that I know, but if everybody's dual threat, then what does it come back down to?
Proficient and the Pats are
No. It
proficient.
comes down to having a great football team, which the Philadelphia Eagles have.
Do you think the Buffalo Bills are a great football team?
No. And what do they have to show for it?
Josh Allen.
Oh, okay, great. And again,
9-2.
this is what I said yesterday on the show.
They're 9-2.
Everybody wants to be labeled elite. Why?
They're 9-2.
Why do we want to be labeled elite? Like you said, Jimmy didn't say, Jalen needs great people around him. Yeah, so does Josh Allen. That's why he doesn't win.
There's great people around him.
And what has he won?
You're
making my point.
Wait a minute. No. Your guy will be the most overrated player in Eagle history if you don't win a Super Bowl.
My point is that Josh Allen is clearly an elite quarterback.
The talent he has around him, but this guy. I mean, you know what? That was a topic that I was going to save.
No,
let me tell you right now.
You're missing my damn point.
No,
look, we got 304 in here.
No, you can't hear the point. That I don't know the point. You can't hear the point.
Between you and John, I'm going to put myself in a grave with the
cutoff.
Holy shit.
What does 42-19 mean to you?
Nothing. We don't have a Super Bowl. It means you got a good football team, and you got to keep putting yourself in a position for the stars to align, make your run, and get the win.
14.
But my point is that Josh Allen, certified elite. Joe Burrow, certified elite. Lamar Jackson, certified elite. Even Jared Goff, people are calling. What do they all need?
9, 10, 11. Not all of
Josh
them.
Allen, no Super Bowls.
Not
Joe
all of
Burrow,
them.
no Super Bowls. Justin Herbert, no Super Bowl. They all need good players. So why is that a knock
you
on
think
Gil?
Kansas City has great players in the offensive huddle?
What's that?
You think Kansas City has great players in the offensive?
Kansas City's one of one. I mean, I try not to comp anybody to them right now because they just keep figuring it away.
It's too easy to go to two.
Everybody else, though, I mean, look, that's why hasn't Josh Allen won? Is it because he's not elite? No. It's because he doesn't have a good team.
Right now, you're 34-11 since 2022. 14-3, 11-6, 9-2, right? That's 34-11. Okay? Let me ask you this here, man. 34-11. Is this Super Bowl or bust?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, obviously we won a Super Bowl, but I mean, not for Nick, if that's what you're going at. No.
Okay, wait. So 165 million. Then last year was 185 million. This year's 200 million. I mean, Zander, we're talking about almost $500 million in payroll for an offense, and you're telling me
Jeffrey Lurie. Wait a second. Jeffrey Lurie just sold 15%. Wait. Let me just, because this is crazy for those who don't understand how much money these fucking people.
No,
he sold 15%. AKA, he owns 85% of the Eagles. He cashed out $1.15 billion, and he still has $7 billion worth of equity, and he bought the team for $185. So his cash return is like 500% or whatever it is, 185 to $1.2 billion. And he still owns $7 billion of the team. It's unbelievable. So
you see what Mark Davis just did?
What the payroll is.
I think what Mark Davis just did. Mark Davis just sold 18% for like $1.9 billion.
Yeah, well, that's what Lurie did too.
You know what the dad bought the Raiders for? You know what the dad told me he bought the Raiders for? $25,000.
Holy crap! When did he buy them?
1960. Get this. He's a managing general partner. The McGraths own the team. So he put in $25,000 to own the Raiders in 1960. The team is now in Vegas with that new stadium. They just sold like 18% for like $2.8 billion.
It's crazy, man.
I know. And now he's got cash flow rolling in. So
I don't know if there's a better investment in the world in the last 30 years than buying an NFL team.
Especially because of gambling coming in now too. Do you know what I'm hearing they're going to start doing? Get this. You know what Lincoln Financial is going to have in the next 2 years? They're going to have a betting parlor inside the room where you're going to be able to make prop bets in the NFL. And you're going to be able to go like this. Jalen Hurts is going to throw 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter or in the first half. And you're going to be able to make prop bets. They're talking about making seats, Zander, where you have it built into the chair, where you can do prop bets sitting in your chair, making bets on it. They just haven't been able to figure out how to
I don't
monitor.
know if that's a world I want to
How
live
about
in.
this? Wrigley Field is going to have a sports book in the next year. They're going to put a sports book at Wrigley. I mean,
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. It's definitely getting to a different level. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So here, all right, I've got my top 10.
Wait, but you said Super Bowl or bust. We can't go there
Super
yet.
Bowl or bust.
No, I'm not ready to go there. I'm not ready to go there.
So let me
It's
say
too
this.
early, man. It's too. Look at what we did with Andy. I mean, after 12, 13 years, you're like,
You
okay.
call him overrated?
That's my point. You got to give Nick, I think, a little bit more time. I mean, look, winning the Super Bowl is hard for a damn reason. I mean, there's only one team that can lift the trophy. So if you keep putting yourself in a good position to win, eventually the stars align and they'll win one. But I'm not gonna.
Okay, so folks, this is what he's telling you here: 5, 6, 7, 8. If the Eagles go 38-13 over the last 3 years and they don't win a Super Bowl, he's saying, we're all right here now, man. No problem not winning it.
No, you're saying this year it's not or bust this year.
Oh, in the Nick Sirianni era, you'll have 38-13 plus the best roster in the history of the franchise. You're kind of telling me that won't reflect on Hurts, that if they don't win a Super Bowl, and Nick, that 38-13, they don't deliver a Super Bowl, and you delivered one with Nick Foles with a lesser talent, and you don't deliver it over these last 3 years. I mean, what are you gonna do? Another 2 years?
You're bending the narrative. We have one Super Bowl win in 60 years.
But this is the best roster you've ever had.
I know, but okay. So?
Okay. See what he said? He's okay with silver medals.
No, I'm not okay with silver medals. I've been the one person who's not okay with silver medals. But to sit here and
13 doesn't mean
but the way you're saying it is, if they don't win, blow it up.
No, I'm asking you.
That's stupid.
Get this. Wait a minute. He thinks it's stupid. Okay. Well, what are you doing with it then? Where are you going? You going to add more players for your quarterback? Because something needs to change here. I mean,
true.
How many 13-win seasons are you going to go through without winning it? 2 more? 3 more before you start going, hey,
Look
guess
at
what?
MG2.
It's the freaking
like
quarterback. Hey, dude, if that quarterback doesn't deliver a Super Bowl, he'll go down as the biggest disappointment in Eagle history.
I never said you're wrong.
McNabb was too.
I never said you're wrong, but quit putting the cart before the horse, big guy. Let's see it happen.
Well, we got 2 years worth of it.
The year is 24. It's not 2028.
All right. So you're saying Super Bowl or bust? Oh, no, you're not. You're saying
every year is Super Bowl or bust. I mean, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Come on.
No. Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out where you are here when it comes to demands on what you're expecting and expectations. Your expectations are, hey, fuck it. If they don't win it, we're still good. We're in it for the next couple of years.
No, I'm just cognizant of the fact that that winning it takes a lot.
So it's not Super Bowl or bust this year.
I mean, I guess it is, but
okay. Here, let me hook you up here. This is not a bell curve, son. Is it or isn't it?
Do you not understand though, and understand the complexity of that?
I'm asking you. This will be the
I want
third
everybody
year.
to take note. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes in to the November 26th show, and Big Silz is creating the new goalpost.
Do you
He
know
is creating the new goalpost?
No. Do you remember, guys, what I said? If Jalen Hurts doesn't deliver a Super Bowl at the beginning of the year before the season even started, I said if this fucker doesn't win a Super Bowl, I'm going to go ass in on him because you have to deliver.
Ass in on Jalen Hurts for 3 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, he hasn't won anything. That's why. Just like Nick said. Here, Zander says it's cool if you guys come up in the divisional round and you guys win 13 games. Well, what is it? Either Super Bowl or bust. Answer the fucking question.
Sure. Yes, it's Super Bowl.
Sure. No.
I'm not going to, if they don't win the Super Bowl, I'm not going to get to the end of the season and say, blow it up, fire Nick, trade Jalen. Dude, no, that's stupid.
I never said that.
Well, that's what you're insinuating.
I'm saying it'll be a failure season.
What does bust mean then?
Failure season.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Anytime you don't win the Super Bowl, I think real winners know it's a failure.
3 in a row. Okay.
All right, what happened at the end with Tom Brady? He won 7 Super Bowls. He lost more than he won the last game. That's football, dude.
dude, if you had won a Super Bowl a year ago or 2 years ago, and you're in a mix to win, and you're in that room, you're validating what you're doing. Look at this. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, has this thing been a failure? No, they've won 3 in the last 5 years.
Is he Super Bowl or bust?
Yeah.
All right. What about
Yeah.
the Bills?
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions?
I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
That's fine. Then I agree with you. If that's the take, then all the best teams are Super Bowl or bust. Then yes, obviously. But if you're going to come and say this team is a failure if they don't win it this year, I would disagree with that. You have a very young football team.
The difference in Detroit is they're on rookie contracts. Almost every single player up there except the quarterback and the one.
So it might be an even bigger bust than in Philly because everybody's under contract
for huge money.
So what are you so worried about the money? Who cares?
Okay, what am I with the money? When you spend that equity in the O-line and what? Okay, so wait a minute. Get this, folks.
Yeah, but you're saying that like we're going to have to blow it up if they don't win.
You spent $558 million over the last 3 years, and you don't win a Super Bowl. The quarterback was given the most tools of any player in the league, and they don't win. He says that's cool.
You're bending it so much. You're saying that like, they gave all these guys money, so if they don't win this year, they're going to have to trade everybody.
That's who you are. What do you?
Everybody's under contract. That matters for next year.
You have the highest paid guys at almost every position in the league.
Okay.
You've got the 2 most expensive tackle combos. You've got a $10 million running back. You've got a $15 million tight end. You got a $50 million quarterback. And you got a $25 million wideout and a $35 million wideout. And he went like this. Hey, 13-4, fuck it. If they don't win, they get knocked out in the divisional round. We always got next year.
That's not what I said. You're putting words in my mouth.
You just said, no, it's not Super Bowl or bust.
I didn't say that. I said it is Super Bowl or bust. But if you're going to get to the end and say, bust, blow it up because they didn't win this year.
I never once referenced that.
Okay, but you're insinuating that because we have paid players, they have to win this year.
I'm insinuating your quarterback will be the one guy that stops you from fucking winning all this.
Well, I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, okay, we'll find out. Again, so far, I'm right. We'll see what happens this year. We'll see if that guy with the 25th best passing attack. Hey, we'll see what the guy with the 20.
Wait, why don't you keep the same energy when you talk about Nick and Jalen as you did when you were glazing over Sean McVay yesterday? Oh my God, he's got 2 NFC titles.
Sean McVay's won a Super Bowl and 2 NFC titles.
Okay, how many years? Jalen has been a starter for 3 fucking years, dude.
What are you talking about?
You're acting like he's 38 years old.
This guy fucking won. He's 38 years old, the head coach. He's younger than Nick. Holy shit.
God. You and the narrative and the
trying to suggest to me that guy's resume has not been validated with a Super Bowl win and an NFC win over Brady?
No, you're not giving Nick.
What has Jalen done with Nick that is anything that McVay has done with Stafford?
Why does McVay get credit for the Super Bowl he lost, but our team doesn't?
He gets credit for the one he won.
Okay, good.
And the other one
multiple years.
He's been to 2. He's been to 2 Super Bowls and won 2 NFC titles.
Yeah,
with
probably
Jared,
never win one.
2 different
probably never win one again.
And by the one quarterback now is the number 1 seed in the NFC so far right now in golf. I mean, holy shit.
I hope everybody took note at 2 hours and 6 minutes in on November 26th.
Make sure, guess what? Hang those silver medals. Don't even let me
finish because he knows it's putting him into a corner.
Make sure you wear those silver medals in Philly, man. You guys are used to it anyway. It's okay. I get it. Holy shit. Hey, if you go 13-4, fuck it. You'll be all right.
You're just creating the next goalpost. Let me tell you, and RMP, no, Nello has not claimed his jersey. Let me tell you guys what Silio is doing. He is playing the odds, right? 1 team out of 32 wins the Super Bowl. So Big Silz has now created a narrative where if the Eagles aren't the one team that lifts the trophy, they could be in a shootout and lose at the last
to
the Chiefs or the Bills or somebody. They could have a great year, and Silvio will say at the end of it, what an absolute failure. That's not how you view things. That doesn't make sense.
Okay. Everything he said is right. But here's my topic. Is it Super Bowl or bust?
Yes, it is.
Because if you lose the Super Bowl, this is 3 years in a row with the best roster offensively in football, and you haven't done enough to win it.
It is, but all right, let's play out a bad scenario in our head. Let's say Jalen Hurts gets hurt in December. Is it going to be Super Bowl or bust?
No, it's a different dynamic.
Okay, so we still got a lot of football left to play. All right, right now you got to keep.
Jalen Hurts does not deliver a Super Bowl for you at the end of the year. Is it a failure or a successful season?
Well, it's a failure season. If that's what you're talking about, of course it is. But it's not Boston that you got to blow up the team and all that shit. I don't know.
You're moving. That's your move of the goalpost because I haven't said that.
Yeah, but that's what you're implying.
Oh, you're reading minds now. Oh, I see. So now you're a mind fucking reader, and now you know what I'm thinking. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
This fucking dude. I swear. Sometimes I want to book a flight to Cali, get on the fucking plane, and go over there just so I can slap this motherfucker.
So wait a minute. Now this guy's thinking for me. Oh, okay. Oh, that's not what I said.
Wait, you know what? I don't even need to buy the plane ticket. I have been
consistent.
Hey, Silz, I don't even need to buy the plane ticket to come and slap your ass. I still got the one on the bulletin board I bought for you.
See, look what he does. He's hanging on the see, look, he's you know what he is? He's a scoreboard guy. See, he still got the fucking scoreboard thing. See, folks, see what he just did there to you guys? See what he did? I told you at the beginning of the season, Jalen Hurts has more talent than any Eagle quarterback in the history of the franchise. This will be a second year in a row that this has gone down like this. Nobody in the league is even remotely close, maybe Brock Purdy when everyone's healthy. Other than that, no one has the O-line. Burrow doesn't have the O-line that Philly has. Josh Allen has nowhere. There's not a guy in the huddle that could start other than the quarterback in Philly.
See, speaking of Super Bowl or bust, that was last year for the 49ers. They lost. They're never getting back. Now they got to pay Brock Purdy. Deebo Samuel fucking sucks all of a sudden. He forgot how to play football, evidently. They're not the same team. They are not the same team.
Especially
Eagles are in a good spot now and the future.
You know where I'm more surprised? I get the injuries. I'm more surprised on defense that they're not the same.
They should bring back Robert Saleh is what they should do because that new dude they got in sucks.
Boy. Or they shouldn't have fired Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes was Steve Wilkes was an overtime away from winning the Super Bowl, and you fired him.
Fired Steve Wilkes?
Yeah, they fired him. They fired Steve Wilkes.
What a stupid move by the 49ers.
Hey, get this: you lose by a field goal. You lose by a field goal in the Super Bowl, and if you go by the old rules, okay, they win the Super Bowl. They fired his ass, and now look what you got here. By the way, all super chats will be read.
So, would you agree with this? That winning the Super Bowl in the NFL is in a way determined by factors that are out of your control when it comes to teams.
Here, this is what I think winning a Super Bowl is. Roster strength.
Just answer the damn question, you
I'm
motherfucker.
Fucking going to, because you said, don't you think it's determining factors?
Yeah, between John and Celia, these two are tap dancers.
This guy asked you a question.
He wants answers. They're tap dancers, dude.
I mean,
they big dancer on every question.
Silz, don't you think that there's determining factors on winning the Super Bowl? I'm going to give you the determining factors.
Said that are out of your control.
Yes.
Okay, so it's hard to say any season is a Super Bowl or bust. Like I said, if somebody gets hurt, all of a sudden you're not going to think it's a bust anymore. Right now, yes, it's Super Bowl or bust. This team is the best team in the league, I think.
If you assemble a team with that's the most expensive offense in football, you're just saying, well, there's determining factors that will determine whether or not they win or not. What are the determining factors for the Eagles not winning a Super Bowl this year? Okay, let's flip the question on you.
Injury.
What will be the determining factor that the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl? I want to hear your opinion on this, please, sir.
It could be injury, which is out of your hands. Which I'm not going to hold against the team.
Injury. What else?
And then not playing up to par. And that's when you get into the conversation of you busted. But right now, what's the biggest question mark on this team? You say that like the injury thing is not. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
We'll have an edge rusher.
Okay. I think your quarterback's not good enough because most good quarterbacks overcome shit like that.
Okay, so the quarterback's good enough to go to get to 9-2, but he's not good enough to go the rest of the distance. Why? What says who?
I saw Justin Fields get to 6-1 He's not good enough to take a team to a 9-2 also.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
let's go back to the
Hurts.
argument you just used on Sean McVay. Jalen Hurts has gotten to a Super Bowl. I don't need to question that anymore.
Jalen Hurts he got to a Super Bowl. He'll never get back again.
Okay, so now we're in the territory of silly-o opinions. You're entitled to that opinion. That's fine. But let's call a spade a spade.
He'll never get back there again.
Yes, he will.
Okay. He doesn't play consistent enough football to get back to one.
All right, so that offense, who's getting in front of that offensive line? Find me one dude on this Ravens team that can get that on that defensive line that's going to get by on our offensive line.
He won't play consistent enough because he hasn't yet in 2 years.
Oh, shit. He's played 7 games of consistent football. It just doesn't look like you want it to look.
You think that guy played consistent football
In the last 7 games? Yes.
He ran the ball 2-1.
Dude.
Where the fuck has he been leaned on to win a game?
Silio, I don't get how you don't
Guy
see
has
how
not
you're
been
bending the goalpost.
He is such a lesser quarterback than any of the guys that
Dude,
are in
it's
the
a
league
stupid
today.
take. He's been
Yeah, whatever.
consistent.
How about this? I don't fucking care what you think of that take. I think that guy's lesser than anybody now. Is
he's just not doing. He's just
whether
not
you don't like
consistent in the
that
way
take
you
or
want him
not.
to be.
I don't give a shit.
He's not consistent in the way you want him to be because you
Yeah,
want him to
I
look
know.
like the
Taking
other guys.
sacks and
Meanwhile,
missing
most of
wide
those
open
other guys
throws.
haven't won shit either.
Guy makes wide open throw misses and takes sacks like it's handing out Christmas candy.
Okay, so he's got the highest QB rating of his
Oh,
career.
highest QB
70+
rating.
completion percentage.
The stat guy. I forgot about the stat guy.
So the stats only work when you want them to work?
No, you're the one bringing them up. I bring them up all the time. Now it fits your narrative. Oh, I say the stat.
Well, no, because you asked if he's been consistent. Yes, he has.
Okay.
The last 7 games, he has
that
2
one.
turnovers in 7 football games.
John and I are on the same page. With
No,
this.
you're not.
Yes, he is.
No, you're not even close.
John doesn't think he's playing consistent ball too. And the
No,
passing
he's
attack.
not
So wait a minute.
passing
The passing attack is 25th in the league right now, but he's been consistent.
Oh, yeah, and there's no context to that we're absolutely throttling every team
How
we
about
play
this?
with the running game.
We'll agree to disagree here and move on because I'm not fucking arguing a comment that guy's some sort of savant elite guy in the pocket.
Yeah.
Because again, I sound dumber every moment and every comment I make to try to argue it. So I'm going to stop that.
Well, there's something we agree on. Every time you
okay, you're right. You got it. You're right. Okay, you're right. Here's the playoff picture as of right now. You tell me if you think AFC or NFC. You know what, Zander? I thought the AFC was the more dominant team, but watch this here. Lions and Chiefs, right? Good football teams, right? Bills and Eagles. Good football teams, right?
Good football teams.
Steelers and Seahawks.
Is that the third team in the NFC?
Those are the third in the AFC and the third in the NFC.
I kind of like the Steelers there in a big way.
But are they good teams?
No, neither of them are.
Okay, let me go to the.
There's all. This is. I'm sorry, but this is why
crazy, isn't it?
This is why I hate the argument though that you've played nobody because there is nobodies, dude. The whole league is filled with nobodies.
You're now. That's what I came up with last night when I'm looking at.
It's
Watch
just
this.
Crazy.
Texans and Falcons are the 4 seed.
Yeah, Falcons don't scare me. I mean, they beat us this year.
Do the Texans now? The Texans have walked back a little bit here.
Hasn't CJ Stroud looked a little suspect?
Wobbly.
Yeah.
How about this one? Here's the 5th seed. Ravens and Vikings. Ravens offensively, but defensively. You good with that? I don't know.
They're not that good.
Dude, they're 30th in pass defense.
That's what I mean. I think you're giving a little too much credit to that number 1 run defense too, or number 2 run defense. You think that run defense going to stop Saquon and our offensive line?
I don't
Seriously.
know. I don't know. I think they could not stop him, no, but I think they can slow him. I don't think they can. Dude, he's been slowed down this year a couple
I
games.
will tip my cap if they can slow down that offensive
well, wait a
line.
minute. He's had a couple games under 90 yards this year.
Yeah, you know, he has for sure. I mean,
so was Henry.
They also weren't relying on it as much as they should have been. I think part of the Eagles is still afraid to embrace the identity.
How about this? Here's the 6th seed. Chargers and Packers. I mean,
honestly, so I think it's kind of even.
Here's the 7. Broncos and Washington. Those are the final playoff teams.
Yeah.
And here's the teams that are on the out, one game out. Miami and the Cards. I mean, Zander,
Let me say something real quick. Eagle fans, we should all be rooting for whatever it is to get the Commanders as the number 7 seed. Because if we don't get the 1 seed, our first playoff game is going to be the Commanders.
Washington.
And I don't know about everybody else. I would rather play Commanders than play the Cardinals. Much rather.
Let me tell you this. The way I look at it right now, the way teams are set up, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, and Bills. The rest of these teams, you can have them. I mean, watch this. How about this? Let me hear. How about this one? Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, Bills versus the field. Who do you got? You take those 4 teams, or do you take the field to win a Super Bowl?
Easily the 4 teams. Those are the teams. I mean, I think that's what it's going to be too. By the way, I think it's going to be Chiefs, Bills. And I think it's going to be Lions, Eagles in the NFC.
Barring injury.
Yeah, and you heard Tony Dungy said it yesterday. That's no small injury that the Lions had got in that with Aiden Hutchinson. Now I know they've handled it well.
And they lost the linebacker.
They lost that Anzalone guy who was really playing good. But I know they've handled it well now. But you get to those tighter games, you get to the game where you need a play from somebody, and that Aiden Hutchinson injury is going to come back to. That's going to be a tough one to overcome.
Dude, this year, and here's the point: 4 good teams, and the rest of the league, you got mediocre and then bad. That's what you have this year. Look how many 2-win, 3-win teams there are in the league. Half the league is 2, 3-win teams. Look at that for a minute. Before we get Gary Cobb, he'll be down here at the bottom. Look at this.
Did Gary say something to you? Because you never.
Hey, he did. He said he's good to go.
All right.
You sent him a link?
No, I do see it. Wait, we got to get to some super chats too.
Zander, check this out. Look how many 2, 3-win teams there are. Look at this. Jets 1, Patriots 3, Cleveland 3. You've got Titans 3, Jags 2. You got Raiders 2. You've got Giants 2. You've got Carolina 3. And so you have 9 teams with 2 or 3 losses this year. 9 teams. Let's get to these super. Did you send him a link?
Yeah, he's good. Josh Herman, by the way, I got your email. I think Josh is in here. Josh, if you're in here, I thought I saw a super chat from you. Yeah, we did get a super chat. If you're still in here, Josh, I got your email. As you know, Saquon, the jersey is in demand right now, so our order is still out there. It's just in limbo because of they keep selling out of these Saquon jerseys, dude. Every time he goes for 300 yards, they sell out of his jersey.
I'm surprised it's not the number 1 selling jersey.
It is the number 1 selling jersey in the NFL.
Okay,
yes. Which is why they keep selling out. No, Abe, our jersey winner this morning has not yet claimed it, but I did order the Brandon Graham jersey for.
Oh, that's gonna be hot.
I gave away a BG jersey this morning.
Oh, that's dope, dude.
Second, yeah, we did a second jersey this morning. Yeah, Josh, glad to see you're in here. I did get your email, brother. No, you're good. Hey, I ordered it. It's just they're backed up, dude. They're all sold out. Like I can't even order.
Comes up here.
What's that?
We'll do the super chats maybe after Gary.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay with you. Yeah. If you want to rip
him. Allen has 25-43 pass, 316 rush total, 28-59. Hurts 28-50-32 total with 323.
You're trying
Allen, 18 pass, 5 rush, 23. Hurts 13-11.
Are you trying to compare Jalen's huddle to Allen's huddle?
I'm trying to tell all of you guys that it doesn't fucking matter.
Dude, you're telling me if you don't have Devontae Smith and you don't have Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Saquon Barkley, you think that that's equal to what's going on in Buffalo? I mean,
I'm saying that I am.
Common sense would tell you that doesn't even tell you that.
No, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm telling you is that's not the determining factor. What did you just say? What did we just argue? Super Bowl or bust? We are not talking about passing yards. Matthew Stafford threw for 5,000 passing yards in Detroit. Kirk Cousins throws for 5,000 passing yards.
Quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Running backs
don't matter.
Running backs don't.
God, the whole world.
Really, running backs do not win. Name me a big-time running back in the last 6 years that won a Super Bowl.
Oh, my God. The whole world, the entire world is fantasy.
Round pick. Name me one.
The entire world is fantasyized. I'm
Oh, yeah,
convinced of it.
that's right. That's
I'm
right.
convinced of it.
No, the entire
Wait. Can I ask you a question? In the 1990s, when Troy Aikman was winning Super Bowl,
different
let me
game.
ask you: did you care about his stats?
Different game. Different game. That wasn't a passing game. That was a running game back in the 90s.
Okay, look at the best offenses in the league this year.
The
They're all
premium
passing.
position was running back then.
I know, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. Do you not sense a trend that's happening in the NFL where the running game is becoming dominant again? Look at the Lions, look at the Eagles, look at even the Chiefs are relying on their running back a lot.
Paid?
What's that?
Why aren't those guys paid?
Well, you saw a big class this year get paid a little bit.
I saw 2 guys get paid. Three guys.
3 guys got paid.
3 guys got paid this year that were free agents.
And 2 of them were underpaid.
Barkley.
Well, yeah, it was the start. It was the start of the trend. I'd be interested to hear you ask Gary, but we'll get to the rest of the super chats after Gary. You can bring me back up at 5.
By the way, give you a chance to put that top 10 list of quarterbacks again.
Oh, we'll do that. That's cool.
All right,
I'll do that.
So we'll do that. Hey, folks, all the super chats will be read after we get Gary Cobb here. So we're gonna go over to Gary Cobb. Zander, we'll be right back with you, dog. Here.
Gotcha, man. Thank you.
So let's bring our friend up here, Gary Cobb from Fox 29. And get his pick. Gary, how you doing, brother? How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm over here at this event. It's a really nice thing. You know, Ron Jaworski, who's a former quarterback of the Eagles, got this big event here where they're giving away turkeys and food for people, and really a great thing. You see a lot of the people coming over here picking up stuff for Thanksgiving. And you've had a bunch of the players out here. Harold Carmichael was over here. And a bunch of the guys, in fact, some of the current players were over here. But we're giving away these turkeys, and that's what we're doing today. But I wanted to make sure that, I give them a little buzz and everything. Of course, they're still floating, and they're ready, man. They're ready for the next victim, at least they think. Baltimore, that's going to be a good game. But they definitely got it done on Sunday night, so we'll see what's
Gary,
ahead.
Before I get to that, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
Most people are not going to know what I'm talking about, but you are as the next player.
Yeah.
How many people did you pull the turkey trick on, telling them that they were going to get turkeys? Did anybody show up expecting to get a bird?
Well, you got a lot of people showed up to get a bird, and they got a bird. Oh, it had a thing fall over there. But anyway, you can see over here, you got food over here. Look at the food they got right down here.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, that looks great, man. Way to go.
Come on. You got, hey, pies. Look at this pie here.
Oh, my God. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got all this stuff here. See? Got pies and everything, but really they're giving away all this food for people who are kind of struggling through financially, and so they're able to pick them up. So that's why we were all here. You had a bunch of the guys here, so that's why I'm over here today and everything. But we're not pulling the fast one where they get over here and they go, "Oh, we forgot the food."
That's an old NFL trick you pull on rookies, man.
Yeah. Now I have pulled a few tricks on rookies. I do know what you're talking about.
Hey, Gary, I was standing in a Publix and I go, "Where's my bird?" They go, "Here, take a picture." And Randy Grimes took a picture of me and he goes, I don't get a bird. He goes, "No." I'm like, "Oh, God. All right." Hey, but let's go back a little bit, man. Here they are sitting at 9-2 right now. Just some takeaways with the team right now as they prepare for this tough game. First, talk about what they did against the Rams on Sunday night, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Ravens. How impressed have you been, especially with Saquon Barkley?
Well, you can't really say enough about how far they've come, and the fact that with Saquon, he really gives you the potential where every time he touches the ball, he can take it to the house, because you see the way he pulls away from the defensive backs. I mean, he just runs away from those guys. Plus, he's a big back, and that's what's so unique about him is that you got a guy who's a big physical back who is able to run away from people, because the guy runs like a 4.3, even though he's 230 pounds, So he's gotten to the point where they're really much running the offense around him, because really the Eagles like to throw the ball, with A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith and those guys. I'm going out here with a little quieter, but anyway, they really like to throw the ball, and they came into this season thinking that they were going to be really running the offense around their passing game. But Saquon has really been so dominant that they really have kind of changed things. And you can see they're more of a running team than they are a passing team. But see, I think the big thing that they've got going into, in a few weeks, the playoffs and things, which will be, probably in a couple months, that they're going to go in where really they could do either way. They could really be a passing team or they can go in as a running team. And but their passing game is not where they want it to be just yet. But but still, it's still early. And Devontae is a little banged up. Once he gets healthy, they get all those pieces in place, and you really get Jalen playing the best that he can, and they can really be a passing game. And then the most amazing thing about the team, though, is the defense.
Yeah.
Look how bad they were at the beginning of the season. But they have really, these young guys have really just grown up.